We're back here once again with another episode of the Iron Man podcast, episode 597. It's going to be another rendition of Monday Mayhem. So let's just take stock of what happened outside of. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you guys are safe. Hope you guys are doing okay. And keep in mind, when I do say this, you getting the chance to live another week is a privilege in life. You could have been shot. You could have been stabbed. You could have broken your toe.
Or Ohio.
You could be funded by RT. I mean, there's many of things.
You could be on hormone replacement therapy. I mean, any day you're above ground.
So just the fact that you made it to another week where you're, keep in mind, if your life is normal and you got a normal 9 to 5 and a wife and kid or whatever your life situation is, even if you're gay and you're two dudes or whatever, you got a chance to get to the next week of your life and live it longer. Because, you know, freak accidents can always happen, and there's just so much of it that could always randomly happen. But hope you guys had a great weekend. Like I just said before, to take stock of what happened, basically, these really jealous people that create Star Wars content tried to do a coordinated attack against Gary and Jeremy and Ryan Knapp. Keep in mind, me, Strider, and Emerald all met these guys. I met Gary twice, once again, when I was at the Gabe thing. But
I met Gary 4 times.
I've met him 4 times.
Yeah, so
wonderful man.
You will eventually, Darnell.
Keep in mind, who would be better to tell you who these people are? Random weirdos on Twitter with Troon flags in bio and pronouns, or people like us who went outside to actually
sweet Disney access, not even money. Just Disney access.
Yeah. Well,
how
access
fucking
is money
sad
itself.
is that? You're so fucking desperate for relevance. You're okay with Disney just throwing things that cost them nothing to you, but that means everything to you. How sad! Get your mind right, you fucking assholes. I've lost patience with these people.
I truly don't. Oh God, fuck! If we were just still exclusive on Rumble, I would say the F word so many times, but I can't. You only get like one of those on stream now. It's like a 1 word rule for it, and it's just like,
sorry,
dude. No, you're fine. That's our one rule. That's our one time. You used our one time in like 2 minutes in.
Gary, I'll try not to. These people
Fucking
pissed me off this week. God damn it! I was so angry.
Bunch of Fraggle Rocks.
You bunch of Ethan Van Skivers.
Creepy van drivers, actually.
That's a whole other thing too.
Just pointing out, I did do the videos. I'm at any of the content we've done here. You know, like I said, we do with the videos. They're done. I just have to edit them, and editing takes a bit of time. As you guys know, I'm very, very, very busy. I did get a chance to put out another new episode of Comic Book Hall, my comic channel. Actually, I want to get that channel to 100 subs. That's the only goal for it. Anything else with that doesn't matter. Go on to the next channel, start that one up. But I'll be getting the Yu-Gi-Oh channel up very soon. I've just been swamped and there's so many things because you guys sometimes send me news for videos to do, and then I gotta write it down. I gotta be like,
I totally heard news.
Whoa.
I gotta send you news.
Whoa,
that was just that one time, and I was really drunk.
God damn,
That
does
was
your wife
part
know?
of the contract.
That was supposed to be behind a paywall.
Wait, that was part. Wait, y'all got that was part of the contract for me.
Oh God, I give Strider extra clout for being here, which includes BBC. That's how it works, you know. But it turns out now that if you talk about the franchise Star Wars, which it's basically a space opera fantasy for cowboys in some sort of way, with
It's samurais in space.
Careful,
which
careful.
is airships. You have dudes who whip out their long lightsaber and hit each other.
If you were about to say it's space wizards intended for children, I'm out of here.
Oh, no, they have space wizards. I will.
They do have space.
Yes, they do, but don't do a Patrick
Telepathic
Willems.
space wizards.
Don't do that.
You
Don't
wanna
be
see-
dismissive about it.
You want to see the best lightsaber fight? Watch the movie Skin Deep from the 80s.
Holy crap, man!
Best lightsaber fight ever.
A bit of Highlander actually was a pretty good lightsaber fight, really.
No.
Think about it.
No. 2 dudes put on glow-in-the-dark condoms and they fight.
I knew there's something dirty. I knew there's something dirty there. The minute I saw your face, I'm like, I fucking knew it.
Well,
Classic
the
movie, man. What
problem-
can I say?
The thing that I really dislike about these people is that they break all the unspoken rules. And people would say, what are these unspoken rules? The fact that I have to speak to them means people don't know them in general. That means that let's say I saw a YouTube video and someone was talking about one of my favorite hobbies, and it was like nerd related, not politics. That's a different story, but like nerd related, like a superhero or a movie or a TV or anime. I would not just go out of my way to report that person. First of all, that's so bitch made to do, to go on and report a video because it had an opinion you didn't like. Yeah, most people never did that. I imagine most people still don't do that. It was just a select small group of people that did. Why would you ever do that? You'd report a video talking about Star Wars because it just had a different opinion you didn't like? That's so stupid. Nobody should be doing that. And YouTube shouldn't have a system where you could be able to do that either. You know,
they do have a system that's targeted harassment, and they just also prove that YouTube will not go after them either, because what they did was literally targeted harassment, because Rewriting Ripley said as much. They're like, oh no, we don't want videos taken down. Oh, we're not that cruel. We want them demonetized. In other words, we want their entire livelihoods taken away, to where they can't support a family, they can't make money, they can't make a living from this at all. Yet the people filing those reports, the people doing the mass flagging, all they have to do is turn off their demonetization, refuse Disney cash, see if you still do it. It's all hypocritical. It's bullshit.
What's kind of interesting is they're saying there with this targeted campaign, and then tagging Team YouTube. It's like, and then on top, so that is a clear violation of TOS for YouTube, and YouTube's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Of course.
And YouTube also did, but to be fair, YouTube did stick up for them and not demonetize the channels too. But the thing is, YouTube, I don't really understand. That is a win for them, obviously. And that's great. And I met these guys. I like them. But let's not pretend that YouTube is anything but unfair most of the time. They just randomly demonetized channels. They took down Lauren Chen's YouTube channel based off of just allegations that the literal document said. They allege and maybe think this happened. Like, I wouldn't praise YouTube on their decisions on removing people. But then again, a broken cock is good once a day, right?
I guess that's one way to use it as a timepiece.
Or is a broken clock is right twice a day? It doesn't matter. People got the saying.
That the broken clock is right twice a day, but I'm just... Look at me, I'm a windmill.
And then all these people that shared... This thing is... I don't care who wrote that Donzo manifesto. A lot of these guys went and shared it. And yes, it doesn't really matter if Star Wars explained that Molly bitch. A lady who clues straight, who has a gay flag in her Twitter profile and pronouns. Just saying, that's just really weird. She's like sharing this. She's married. Yep, they're married.
Yeah, she's married to the guy. Yeah. She has pronouns in the bio? How's that make any sense?
And a gay flag.
What the fuck? How does it? I mean, well, look at who she got married to. After all, I mean, the man is one of a dozen people dressing up in the slave Leia costume. Which if that doesn't just embody the dudes for Kamala, I don't know what it.
Excuse me, I'd like to dress up in slave Leia.
Yeah, me too. Fine. You gotta get a problem with that. I would look very.
What are you trying to say about Chris Gore? He's done it.
Here's the thing. When Chris Gore did it, it was funny. When Chris Gore did it, he was wearing a wry smile the whole time. That's back when dressing in drag was kind of funny and risky and edgy. True. That was back when it actually had some weight to it. And it was funny, again, because it's Chris Gore. Nobody who looks at Chris Gore would be like, everybody who looks at Chris Gore would be like, yeah, that's funny because it's kind of outside of the realm possibility for him, but not completely. So it fits. It works. You have to have the right attitude to make it work. And also the fact that there is no question as to his sexuality. I mean, the man has kids. And he constantly is talking about Sadie Sweeney, how hot she is. And he's constantly the one who's lamenting the death of hotness in Hollywood and making things hot phobic. That's funny because he is unequivocally straight. I don't know what the hell is with this other guy. I wonder, and he looks exactly like he looks and behaves exactly like the kind of person that you'd wonder about. Like Chris Gore, I don't like this, but it's funny. That's the attitude that comes across with him. But with the other guy, it's like, I like this and it's fun.
I'm a male feminist.
I'm a male feminist. I'm an ally, guys, and I'm totally straight, by the way, and I'm married to that smoke show. I mean, Molly Damon is a bitch.
It's
but
crazy because she's not like Molly. Actually, genuinely does look attractive. That's the thing. That's the sad thing about these liberal women is that there's liberal women are really attractive, but they're just like dumb as rocks. They're like, honey, you're stupid, you're dumb. But can you just get on your knees? Like, also, women are good for just getting on the knees and just choking on some meat and doing the 2-hand motion.
If you're a Disney Wars fan, you're used to that.
Or been in Disney, or been in Hollywood and didn't indicate a casting couch.
But like, this is the problem: is that people gonna like. So Star Wars Theory put out his video talking about them, and I like Star Wars Theory too.
That's good.
But he had this take where he's like, they should sue. The problem with suing is this: you'd have to basically trace that to the person that originally did it, or people that did. Now, under the guise of all these retweets, we don't really know who actually even wrote it. They're just They just tweeted out this thing, you know, because you do have to tie it to somebody if you're doing a lawsuit. It can't just, I mean, you could do a group of people, you can, but it's like, who are you picking out of that group to do it for? You know,
Rewriting Ripley was the one that originally posted it. They're the ones who drew up that draft. They're the ones who tweeted it out in the first place, which 2 years, almost to the day since their last tweet is like in September 20th or something in 2022. And this just so happens to come out 2 years later. Fuck off. Nobody believes that. I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you if you believe that. But the fact that all these other prominent Star Wars channels like Star Wars Explained and Lucas, by the way, that he's a big one, and the fact that they're all piling onto it. You can don't go after smaller creators, like that's one thing, but the people who have, you know, maybe 10, 20,000 subscribers or a lot of something like that, a lot of followers, yeah, I'd go after them. Because there's no doubt in anybody's mind that they were trying to weaponize their followers against people who are better than them and have more subscribers and have more followers than they will ever even dream about. So, but I mean, also listening to Star Wars Theory and his experience with Star Wars Explained and the Daemons was actually quite enlightening, because the very first thing he heard from a couple of these people is how big is your channel, how many subscribers you get, how much money you make last month. He's like, I don't fucking care. I don't care about any of that. I do this because I like it. I just happen to make some good money at it. Audiences know that, even if they don't know it, and they respond to it accordingly with devotion and remaining your audience.
Yeah.
There's a reason that Star Wars Explained has 200,000, I think, subscribers last time I looked, to Theory's 3 million. But what's Theory done with it? Made a fan film on his own. He's not going to get any money from that, at least not directly. He's making a fan film out of the cash from his own pocket. He started a whole lightsaber company, for God's sake. Like, that's what he's doing. What's Explained doing? Going to Dragon Con, dressing up as Slave Leia? Oh, congratulations, you with the other 20 guys that think it's subversive, think it's funny. No, to you it's pathetic, because we know exactly what you're doing, just on your knees in front of Disney. There's a clear line of demarcation between those who are legitimately fans and then those who are actual grifters, which are the Disney Wars fans. It's hilarious to see it play out.
The other thing that I like to bring up in these conversations most of the time is I do genuinely believe that there's people out there that do like the Disney Star Wars content.
Sure.
But those level of crazy people that'll go back and forth with people that don't like it is different than people like Molly and Kyle Katran who get invited to Lucasfilm. Okay. There's a difference between like someone saying, I like The Force Awakens, and they're not affiliated with Disney and they don't get invites and everything like that. Keep in mind, Christian Harloff said a lot of nice things about new Star Wars content. And he was mad he did not get invited to the Star Wars celebration back in 2022 when Obi-Wan Kenobi season 1 was going to appear. Remember? But basically admitting he's a shill, and it's like, dude, you're not really beating the shill allegations. That right there is a shill. So I don't believe that everybody's shilling for Disney, because that's crazy. Like, Disney's not inviting all these random people that like The Force Awakens as their thing. But if someone like Molly and Kyle Katran and her husband are going to Disney premieres, getting access, yeah, people know what that is. That is a direct conflict of interest. They have a direct reason to not go as hard because of the access they have to Disney. A direct conflict of interest. People like Sawyer, that dumb bitch that said, well, why don't we just all demonetize our channels? And it's like, okay, first of all, she's like, I don't monetize my content. Sawyer, you're stupid. And this is the reason why women shouldn't vote. Sawyer, your YouTube channels can't be monetized because you don't have enough subs and you don't have enough watch hours by far. Sawyer's first channel has 422 subs. Her podcast is almost 300. That's not enough. Even with YouTube lowering the barrier to entry and her basically having colored hair, she shills for Disney Star Wars shit constantly. She doesn't have enough subs. And I guarantee not enough watch hours because no one cares what they have to say.
The rate we're going for D&D, the rate we're going with our D&D streams. I mean, my God, Nate is gonna be demonetized. Probably is gonna be monetized within like 3 months, which is how many watch hours and subs he's getting. It's awesome because that's what authenticity will bring you. That's what someone who actually. What's up?
What's up, Tony? Yeah, I'm gonna go over the Student of God stuff in just a moment, but I want to show you guys this really quickly.
Hear that.
Here is the problem with people like her. And this is just so. I had to save it in my search history because I used it for a video. Oh, God, her YouTube channel is called Sawyerism. Oh, please, effing kill me. Effing kill me, guys, please. Okay, here. Let me go to her. Go to her Twitter account. This is where I'll find all the dog shit. All right, let me just pull it up right now. Don't worry, this won't take as long as last time. I have it all right here. And then you have this right here. Okay, so let me knock those down. Okay, new episodes are there. Okay, so we went over this tweet last night, but I'll show it for everyone here who wasn't here. Because it goes to show you what disingenuous pieces of actual garbage these people are. And just line of thinking that I just can't get behind. Okay, so we know the tweet because we read it here before, and it's just even more stupid, right? So she said, most, if not everyone I know who is truly passionate about making content does it because they love to, which is just like, all right, no shit, Sherlock. That's cool. And not because it pays their bills. Sometimes we get lucky and it becomes a career, but all of us would stop doing it if we didn't love it. I don't know why this doesn't apply to the other people you don't like, but fuck off. Demonetization is not censorship. Yes, it is. And then this right here is going to sum it all up. Then demonetize all of your own accounts. Lead by example. They'll never do that. That's never going to happen because they're hypocritical pieces of shit. She says, I do not profit off my content. Sawyer, you can't profit off your content because you don't have enough subs. Nobody likes you. Look at this. She doesn't even have the basic requirements to be monetized.
Oh, I can hear
that third picture. Third picture over it explains her. Oh my goodness, does that look psycho?
Honey, you look like you should be asking for my manager, for God's sake. Like, calm down the crazy eyes just a little bit.
Here's her podcast that she does where she claims it's all about positivity and it's got pronouns in bio right there. Her podcast, I don't know what kind of ghetto hood trash.
Yap session, like talking session.
Oh God, fucking kill me now. Her podcast is 286 subs. Guys, she can't monetize her content. No wonder why she's trying to get people demonetized. She can't. She's not popular enough to even get her own self to the basic minimum threshold that YouTube offers to get monetized.
Well, this is
she's just an idiot.
Well, judging by on Theory's video today, this is actually kind of hilarious because, again, Theory has 3.3 million subscribers as opposed to a lot of these other people who have barely hit 1 million, if that. And there's a reason for that because the people who are really trying to make money at it, who are trying to do it for a living, who are trying to get their subs up and make a bunch of money to, I don't know, pay bills or whatever, they're doing so badly. Like this woman, Star Wars Explained, or Kai 1E Katarn, or Jacob. They're not doing any of the same numbers that like Nerdrotic, Ryan Kendall, and Geeks and Gamers are because people sense bullshit. People absolutely know what it looks like when someone is saying something and making a living based on what they truly believe and do not want to change about themselves versus what someone who's trying to change with the times or in order to ingratiate themselves with a billion-dollar company to get some kind of access. We know the difference. The audience knows the difference. Instead of nipping at their heels and bitching about what you don't have, try to have some authenticity. Because the very fact that none of these people will ever say anything negative about anything Disney, Star Wars ever is clue number one that they're not to be trusted.
This is another tweet she had, which proves why this. If anyone that wants to be a person where your opinion is valued amongst nerds, even if you agree to disagree with people, that's not the point. The point of being someone that critiques media, if you're a nerd and you do choose to do this for your content, is that sometimes you are going to watch stuff you don't like, but you talk about it. Because people would generally like to know what threshold you have as a person where certain things you like versus certain things you don't. Read what this dog shit is. And another reason why women shouldn't vote. Can I be candid for a second? I didn't enjoy Ahsoka. Cool, that's great. Fine, who cares? That's fine. I didn't even finish it. That's crazy because I really didn't like it. Okay. And then she says, I never shared that publicly because my dislike means far less than how many people loved it. Oh my God.
Nobody loved it. Not a single person I've ever met loved that show. And by the way, props to you for waiting a whole fucking year before admitting it. You goddamn shill.
And I will never, ever use my platform to spit on someone else's joy. Okay.
God. It's a personal opinion. Personal opinions you can have. And on top of that, it just shows how disingenuous you truly are, that you're not even willing to, at the moment that a show is released, go, you want to know what? This is garbage. I don't like it.
So it even shows you right there. Some of them don't even like the content coming out, but they won't say how they feel because they feel like if they say what they truly believe, it's shitting on someone else's joy. First of all, I'll just give her this piece of advice. If you didn't like it, she said she liked Ahsoka and she didn't finish it. That's fine. But you saying that if that person is so insecure that it feels like it shits on their enjoyment, fuck those people. Why does it matter though? Why does it matter? If you must be a fucking loser.
This is the reason. This is the reason I hate like Big Bang Theory, and I hate shows like that completely made being a nerd and a geek chic. Because something cool. Because you want to know what? I was back in high school and grade school, I got picked on for liking what I liked. It didn't change my opinion on it. Just because people didn't like Star Wars or didn't like Star Trek, but I loved Star Trek growing up, I still loved it, even though other people would sit there, mock it, make fun of it. So that right there, that comment just shows you don't know what it is to be a true nerd, a true geek that loves a topic, even if someone else doesn't like it.
Right.
Like here,
for us came at a cost.
Or just in general, there's been movies and TV shows and anime we've discussed that we had agreed and disagreed and all that nice nerd stuff, and we didn't think when Darnell heard that some of us didn't like Deadpool Wolverine as much as he did. He knows we didn't try to shit on his enjoyment of it.
No,
he just roasted us behind.
Yeah. He just said we're stupid.
Behind your back.
Yeah. He thought we were stupid.
Like a man.
No, I'm saying he thought we were stupid for not enjoying as much as he did. But the thing is, most average adults would know that. Most average adults know that just because I say I like something, it doesn't automatically imply I'm shitting on the thing you like. That's such a conceited, retarded.
It's not even an adult thing. Yeah. Well, here's what I've noticed: the more feminized our society has become, and I'm not trying to say this to shit on women, but in a way I kind of am. The way our society has become so feminized, just look at the terms that are used, look at the concepts that are bandied about in mainstream culture. And for instance, this bent saying, I don't want to steal from someone's joy. No man would ever say that. No legitimate society run by an actual patriarchy would say that kind of insanity. They'd be like, men don't care about your feelings. The facts do not care about your feelings. Ahsoka was a joke. I'm going to say a joker from now on. It was a joke. It was laughably boring. It was long. It was tedious. It was stupid. There was no reason for it to have ever existed because they ended up exactly where they were, exactly in the same boat as they were before. Nothing was being done. But the fact that she waited a year to hang on to her own opinion to spare someone's feelings, men would just be like, I don't fucking care. You liked it, gay, and then we'll move on. We'll roast you. But this whole idea of diversity, equity, and inclusion is such a laughably female-centric way of thinking. It's such a feminized way of looking at the world. Where guys, we can have conflicts. We can have conflicts and then be friends at the end of the day. We can beat the living shit out of each other when we've had a few, but then shake hands and walk away. Women don't do that. Women cannot do that for the most part. They hold on to grudges for ages. They talk behind each other's backs. They don't punch each other in the face. If they did, maybe we'd have a better society. But this is exactly what Disney has fostered, a fan base of women. So we can't be surprised when toxic idiot women act like toxic idiot women, because that's exactly what Disney wanted them to be. They wanted their audience to be that, and they got it now. And now they're participating in activity that will get them all canceled if YouTube had any balls, which they don't.
Oh, here's the other follow-up. So she quote tweeted that same tweet, which was about a few days ago, and this was a follow-up. The fact that the comments are mostly focusing on the show itself is the exact reason why I don't like to talk about things I don't like. That was not the point of my original comment. No. The point of your original comment was to basically say, I'm not going to basically give my honest opinions because it maybe might shit on someone else's enjoyment, which is just a stupid line of thinking in general. That's just so fucking dumb. And then when people focused on the you're fine. And then when people focused on the show, bro, like, oh my god, lady.
What that means to me is that any take she ever says is disingenuous because you don't know what she actually thinks. Because she just admits right there in that comment that she's never going to give an actual honest opinion because she's afraid of how other people will take it.
Right. Yep. If your opinion can be changed by someone else's contrary opinion, it is not a legitimate opinion. It is not a legitimate position. You are spineless. You are baseless. You will go whatever direction the wind takes you, and that is not a compliment. That's not gutting along. That's not being cooperative. If you're not, you can't go through life just on edge, walking on eggshells, wondering if people are going to like you or dislike you depending on how you breathe that day or what color shirt you wear that day. It's insane. Stop worrying about that. Stop worrying about people who do not matter. But again, women worry about that.
These are people that you're never going to meet. All these people that she said, I don't want to shit on their enjoyment. Lady, oh my God, you are not going to even meet nor even speak to any of these people. Why does it matter? And that's the thing is other people in the conversation, which you guys just saw as I went over, was that, oh my God, these people talking about the show, why would they be so rude? No. Anytime that happens, it's only because they're giving opinions you don't like. I noticed that if you give me an opinion on a show someone doesn't like, they consider you rude. Bro, like this how oh my god, the world is just full of sensitive fucking pussies. You can't even say I don't like a show. You're rude. You fucking you a bitch?
Well, it comes but the thing is it comes right from the writers' rooms of these TV shows. And their attacks immediately after they know they put out a garbage product, they immediately come out and attack anyone that's going to have any kind of negativity towards their product, their item. Even though they even may know it's shit, well, we can't make it look like we produce shit knowingly. So we're going to just call everyone a ist and a phobe.
They're doing what lots of people do in complaints. Like when two people have an issue, they try to be the first one to call the cops because they believe the first one to call will be believed by who shows up. The public is that blind to believe the first one to speak. So they're the first ones saying this is happening. So automatically that's what's happening.
Well, that's why that's why misreporting of situations that happen with the news is so damaging because it's always the first thing that is released, even though there may be a follow-up later going, oh yeah, we got this wrong. No one sees the follow-up. They only see that initial.
True. Which is why you never apologize. Which is why you never apologize to anybody because the only thing that will ever be because it will be buried with the story. Because the point is these people find reasons to hate you and they will find them eventually. They will look for them and they will find them and there's nothing you can do about it. If you're not concerned about what they say about you, well then you're golden. If you are overly concerned, like this woman is, because she is so insecure in herself that any form of criticism is immediately going to be seen as a personal attack, which is something that's just only come up recently, like the last 10 years. When you don't have your own opinions, when you don't know where you stand, when you don't trust yourself enough to know what exactly you think and feel, well then you're going to be tossed about by the four winds. And you know what? Good riddance if you don't have the spine to stand up. I mean, look at me. My shit's in a corner, and I'm telling you how to live your life.
That's how bad it is. Box. He lives in a box.
I'm taking a second mortgage on it too.
He lives in the same building as MSK. They're not allowed to have anything nice up on walls or actually in their places.
I asked the master hobo if he could put me up for the night.
That box is his bookshelf.
I want people to truly understand what that person said and keep in mind, I don't know if she's ever had access to Disney stuff, but keep in mind the fact that she even said right there, I couldn't finish it. That means the show was so bad. We don't even know what episode she dropped off it.
I don't know.
Now, why? And she followed up. Now that opinion is fine, but why is it that she can voice that opinion and not lose her platform? But if Gary did that, people would threaten to kick him off the platform. Well, no, that's the problem right there.
Like us don't go after people's livelihoods or attack blindly or be childish about it.
Like that's the conclusion I came to today, actually, because I realized in the Star Wars Theory in his video was at what had no, I do agree with him. I do agree with him in saying that these people should have some kind of legal ramifications for what they tried to do. And he said there definitely are, but only if they bring charges. That would mean like Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, and Ryan Kendall would have to pool their money to make it happen, which honestly I would love for that to happen.
It's not worth it though.
But it's not worth it. But that's also not who they are. They are not bitchy and catty enough to try to litigate someone else into the loss of their livelihood. Because it hasn't affected them at all. They don't even give a fuck. They're laughing at it the whole time. And so are we, but we're angry. Yeah. We're more angry at the fact that they try to have their livelihoods taken away than they are, because they know they're not at risk. But I guarantee you, at least someone on that team,
they took the W that YouTube gave them. YouTube basically said, for all this effort, I just imagine they spent months in Discord channels, StreamYard back rooms doing this for months on end, just for the YouTube automated system to come back within about 5 hours and say, hey, we found nothing. Go fuck off. That's it. And then Jeremy and Ryan and Gary went, all right, cool. Now time to move on. So, and make fun of them.
Yeah, they're like, that's interesting. Then walk away.
Every single time there's been a coordinated attack, whether it be against Gary and Critical Drinker, which we had a couple months ago, their subscriber numbers went up. They didn't go down. So what you did is actually you promoted them and got more people to go, oh, hey, I like these guys. They seem genuine and they actually know what they're talking about.
Because they do.
Yeah. So here's what you do. When you see something you don't like, you take your little finger, you tap the 3 dots in the top right corner on your phone, and tap mute or block. And you move on. You don't try and drag people down. You don't try and take away their livelihood. Mute them and move the fuck on.
For opinions, too, by the way. Not see, and I can already hear the same people, the same whataboutism going, well, you're calling for these people to get sued. Yeah, because they're absolutely breaking terms of service. This isn't an opinion. You are breaking terms of service and by engaging
with consequences.
Exactly. Like turnabout's fair play, right?
Sure.
But the thing is, they're absolutely breaking terms of service because they're engaging in targeted harassment, something that Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers, Ryan Kendall, and everybody else have never done. They have never done that. They have laughed at you whenever you tried to come after them and be like, yeah, that's dumb. And then their followers can get kind of spicy. Myself certainly included in there, but you deserve it because you're legitimately doing something against the rules. You're legitimately doing something wrong. They tried to cancel them over their opinions on The Acolyte that nobody watched. That's what they're trying to get. You should lose your livelihood because of an opinion. You should lose your livelihood because you broke the fucking rules.
Yeah. Yep. That really comes down to it. At no time, and anyone that really watches Nerdrotic or Geeks and Gamers or Critical Drinker, when it comes to the aspect of removing someone from YouTube, there really isn't a real strong push for that. It's just saying, hey, YouTube, enforce TOS.
Yep.
That's all being said. Not, we didn't like their opinion, so demonetize and boot them. No one's saying that. No, everyone's allowed to have their own opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are bad opinions.
Except for us.
I don't know. I have some shitty takes.
Unless you have the correct opinions they approve of, and then you call everything you don't like racism, bigotry, and all these other words. And it's like, if the amount of times I see that in the same word salad, it's like, that person's opinion don't mean nothing. Like, bro. Yeah. And the thing is, this is how crazy that Donzo Manifesto is. Anna Thorsgrad, she says in her video, and I even said it in mine. I forgot. to bring up, I think on the other show we talked about this. They had a manifesto where they had like 12 videos in question. None of them had timestamps. They claimed that all these videos had racism, homophobia, and they were being blatantly targeted harassment. It's like, provide timestamps in those videos, not just the video titles, not just the thumbnails. You had people still parroting that the Nerdrotic video he did with the Blue Beetle character.
Talk
and the
about
whole taco
it.
and
So good.
You have people who are offended for Mexican people on their behalf, and I never thought we live in a world where motherfuckers would get mad and offended over a YouTube thumbnail. That's crazy.
Wasn't the tweet something like, "There's a lot of Mexicans in my mentions saying that they find this funny." Like, yeah, because they're not sensitive. They're not sensitive white savior pussies like you are. I don't remember who said it, but I commented. I'm like, yeah, maybe take that into consideration the next time you try to play White Knight, you pathetic nonce.
The thing is, have you been around Mexican people before? The humor tends to be pretty much whatever, as long as you're not like personally attacking them, like saying their mom is a bitch or their sister's a whore or something. Like, they're pretty much chill with anything. They'll be like, you can go to and be like, "Hey, yo, Holmes, what's up? Let me get some tacos, Holmes." And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, let me feed you, dude." Like, they're all in on that shit, man. Mexicans are the most chillest people ever when it comes to humor, dude.
Like, I saw a shit ton of Mexicans laugh at Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum in 22 Jump Street. This is like Mexican Wolverine, man. That's Hefe, man.
I got some buddies that I'll do that to them, and then they'll do the white accent back to me. It's like,
see, that's funny.
People, we're at restaurants. People looking at us like we're fucking stupid, and we like falling out of our chairs laughing.
So that's what men do. We take each other's qualities and we turn them into a reason to roast the hell out of each other, and it's funny. You will never find the men who are the most vicious toward each other are the ones who will die for each other. Like, it is insane, because that's how we show love. But it just so happens that all of the like the spineless pusses that are in the Disney Wars fandom all happen to take the exact same philosophy of, it's racist, sexist, big homophobia. It's wrong. It's so terrible.
You know, they could have this take that that George Martin has. He is not finished Winds of Winter because of fascists.
Yes, because of the rise of fascism that's happening in the United States.
Yes.
That's why
it's hilarious that he can say that while Brazil is in the middle of a dictatorship and while the UK is being dominated by a weak prime minister. Like, come on, dude.
What was the last quote he had where basically he said he didn't finish his book because he was just basically too lazy or some shit? That was the funniest one.
Yeah, that was a few months ago, I think.
I was like, oh my God, that shit, I'd be dying. Bro, he literally admitted verbatim he's fat and just lazy.
He just needs to come out and admit it. Let the fans know. Look, I'm never going to finish the book.
Well,
I don't intend to hand it off.
We would respect him if he did.
He said it when he dies that there will be. He has a clause that his series cannot be finished.
Yep,
it'll die with him.
That's selfish. That's bullshit. That is so selfish. Like, buddy, just give us an outline.
I don't fucking care anymore.
I don't either, because honestly, fuck that socialist boomer. But his use of the term fascist is hilarious, because again, bro, Brazil right now is under the thumb of a literal fascist dictator. Venezuela just don't even know what's happening over there. You're telling me that the rise of the United States with the prospect of a Republican president, that's fascist? A guy who was not fascistic in his entire 4 years?
You hear what's going on in Venezuela?
I know there was some
kind of gone down because they've shipped them
all here in Colorado.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
they shipped them all to us.
No. Oh,
their crime rate is down.
George R. R. Martin, allegedly, some people had a chance to read the first drafts of his newest book that's never coming out. Now, basically, I'll be married and have like kids before this book ever comes out, or I'll basically just be dead myself. Here, just read that in your own free time. We'll just put
the heat death of the universe will occur before he finishes Winds of Winter.
I'm pretty sure I've read this before. I know what you shared.
MSK will mount his TV before.
Oh no, that's not happening.
I've read this.
Oh, okay. So me and my friend, when we went to Best Buy, we were talking about this. So what do you think it really is? Because all this other stuff he's saying is intangibles, bullshit. What's the real reason why he hasn't finished? He's had more than enough time. Do you I'll ask you guys this. Do you guys think that he can't put out a product worthy of his previous work? That's the reason why he hasn't done it.
100%.
Well, his previous work was turning to shit, to be honest. Book 5 was really not something I would care to read again. I think there's a few reasons. One, he's in it for the money. He was in this all to make money. I've watched. I'm assuming you watched the same video I did about him saying that with a neurotic video about it. He literally took the War of the Roses and not the movie, the actual War of the Roses in history, and changed names. He literally hates heroism. He hates the good guy. He's got the good guy makes him look bad, so he's gonna make the good guy look bad. He spends all this time scripts, editing the wild card series, writing little wild card books, other things. He's doing everything but his own books.
Didn't he write Elden Ring?
He did.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But there's certainly nothing wrong with having having multiple avenues of creative freedom, because I mean Elden Ring was a hit. But I mean, come on. That's really not anything that From Software writers couldn't have come up with themselves. When I really look at it, because I mean, for God's sake, they came up with Bloodborne, they came up with the Dark Souls lore, they come up with Sekiro. I mean, for God's sake, that was nothing that they couldn't have done themselves. But he attached himself to the project probably because of, hey, you're making a high fantasy video game open world. Let me do something with dragons and a tree. Here's your story. It's like Stephen King. To slap your name on something, and then to slap your name on a car manual and pretend it's a horror story. But
I got a story. It's about a possessed energy drink, and it gets out there, and a guy drinks it and becomes possessed.
Ooh, well, there's a Family Guy joke about that. It's like a haunted lamp.
Yeah, he's like a light monster. He goes, "When can you have it to me?"
And like that's the other huge problem with someone like that. It's like he's very regarded for his work on Game of Thrones and everything, but like when you haven't basically put out a book in that long, and I was someone that's never read the books. I only watched like one episode of the show, but just from an author point of view, because I talked to a lot of them. You know, when you don't do it in a very long time, or you put out a book that people have been waiting on, people are very different compared to how they view your work if you take so long to get to it. And this thing it's kind of like with a TV show ending. You know, like most TV show endings are not that good. Keep in mind, people have been waiting for this book so long. There's just no way it's going to be as good as people's expectations are. There's no way. It probably is just a steaming pile of shit.
And wait, that's the fucked up thing. The ending for the reason he gave the okay to the Lindelof and what's his face to make this show. He said, how does the book series end? They told him how it ends. Jon is a Targaryen.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, okay, you have my blessing. Make the show. So we know how the book's going to end. It may not end like season 8 did, but it's going to end. We know the big twist.
Yes.
Yeah. It's done for him. All he's going to do is fill the blanks.
For that one, he guessed it. He just wanted to know that they had enough understanding of the source material to be like, what do you think? Who are Jon's parents? Like, well, Rhaegar and Lyanna. Here you go. Because that tells him, I know you read my stuff. I know you studied it. I know you have been. I know you've been in on the mystery. So it was made by fans. Season 8 is inexplicable, but really the crack started to show in season 7 too. But what's kind of interesting about the entirety of Game of Thrones is that every single character, every single like noble looking character has some kind of shadow side to them, which I kind of find interesting because it's not subversion for its own sake. It's different aspects of subversion, because every single example of a hero, there's another. They act like real people, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially when they're well written as they are. Because what's Jorah Mormont is the especially in the books, he's kind of a skeeve ball. Mm-hmm. He does not look like Ian Glenn. He resembles more like not Danny DeVito.
Matt Damon.
Maybe I'm thinking like a Paul Giamatti kind of character. He's kind of balding, overweight. I'm imagining Paul Giamatti, honestly, but Ian Glenn made him so much better. This kind of loyal dude, this really loyal dude who's also kind of a skee ball, has something sexual for her. Loras Tyrell is this brilliant, beautiful looking knight who's just the embodiment of everything a knight's supposed to be, but it turns out he may or may not be gay. The books are rather vague in his sexuality, but he's gay. The show is like, he's gay. And then you have Jaime Lannister, who is a member of the King's Guard, a noble knight. Oh wait, he killed his king before, but he also the best swordsman in the realm. But he also screws with his sister. Everybody has something wrong with them in one way or another, but they all have their redeeming qualities.
But based on the TV show, not talking about the books, there was one that didn't have any real flaws, and he's killed in the first season.
Yes, he was naive. He was naive and relied on
his only biggest flaw was his naivety.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody has a flaw that's realistic and understandable considering their characters, and I love that. Because one thing, even Cersei is like a horrible bitch. She is nasty, but no one can doubt she loves her children. Absolutely, no one can doubt that. And in the show, Lena Headey actually makes you feel sorry for her a little bit because she's just at the end of the day she wants. Well, there were a couple scenes where she and Tyrion are interacting, kind of having a heart to heart. Is actually kind of moving. Because they both just love each other's kids. I mean, he loves his nieces and nephews, and she loves her kids, and they bond over that. Like, there is some humanity there. And then she's a bitch anyway. But then Tyrion is the best character in the show, but he's a slash hound.
In real life, so many parents literally burn the world, scorch the earth for their children who are doing wrong. The kids are doing wrong, and the parents scorching the earth. That doesn't faze me at all when a parent shows how much they love their kid if they're a piece of shit.
That's true.
And the episode pure evil was Joffrey.
Yep.
Through and through, pure evil.
And this comes from that neurotic video. I think it might have been a drinker that was saying it, that he just look at every good character, they're good, and then he shits on them. He turns into a piece of shit. And I thought that when I watched the show, when I read the books, they're humanizing him. But after I watched this video, I started thinking back on it today. No, he didn't make them human. He shit on them. He turned every good character to a piece of shit or killed them off like that. Yep.
Indeed.
It was because George Martin hates heroes.
He does.
They make him look bad, so he brings heroes down to his level.
Mm-hmm. Especially with Jon Snow. We don't know if he survived yet. How does his hero's journey?
Now that I think about it, they must have been reading Martin's notes on how to write a character when they were doing the Star Wars sequel trilogy, because they took all the heroes and shit on them.
Yeah, that was kind of at the height of Game of Thrones hype. So, and really every fantasy show, every show just period started to do that. What if everyone's an asshole? Like, we would not have gotten The Boys if you have a Game of Thrones that didn't exist.
Well, no, The Boys came out years before Game of Thrones.
Did it really?
The comics, yeah, the comics were out for a while.
I'm thinking like the mainstream TV shows, because comics that
was in the works before Game of Thrones.
Really? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I've been in the works since 2005, man. Yeah,
I still can't help but wonder, because especially every single show tries to take its cues from Game of Thrones and trying to be subversive. And the good guy is really an asshole, and the bad guy maybe has some sentimentality, but everyone writes it terribly.
Ryan Johnson for subverting our expectations.
Well, exactly. But the cultural landscape was shifted in such a way that audiences were more receptive to that.
Now,
so Ryan Johnson would have gotten, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think The Boys, they were. I'll give you that. They were holding on the show till it was acceptable. So that was acceptable. To this heroes are assholes. Like, I think they had it developed, and then they just sat on it because, like you said, it wasn't socially acceptable to have the good guy be an asshole, have the bad guy be misunderstood, like it is now. So I could understand where you're coming from with that.
Well, speaking of actors that actually made an impact in people's lives, and you never heard about this person's politics ever, honestly. At least I never have. To my knowledge.
Are you going to Daddy?
Well, I'm black, so I don't have that.
Are you going to Daddy?
Well, and you want to know what? If we want to look at like the political affiliations of superheroes, clearly Superman is a Kamala Harris supporter, and
Lord,
is a Trump supporter.
Star Trek is overly right wing, as JDA put in. It's like, why do people have to draw right wing and left wing conclusions to stuff? Why can't a piece of media just be a piece of media? Why does it have to draw between left and right? Could it just be the media that exists? That's it.
It is the media that exists until the left wing gets a hold of it.
Yeah,
Sure.
And they're
a
like,
lot of
"This
a
is
lot of
secretly."
times, a lot of times stories, especially if you look at older stories, there is no real obvious political agenda in any kind of way, but
Except-
people will
yeah.
then watch it and interpret it in their own ways, and
yeah,
then see
yeah.
it as a right-wing thing,
They
or see it
project.
as a left-wing thing. You
Right.
saw
They
it with like
constantly project,
what
man.
was
That's all it is. Yeah.
Red State.
Mhm.
That I mean, there was the movie Red State, and let's see, that was I think where they were hunting. No, there was a movie.
Oh yeah,
The Hunt. The
I
Hunt.
think,
The Hunt.
yeah, The Hunt.
yeah. I remember what
Where
you're talking about.
essentially it was left wingers that were capturing white right wingers, and then they
Oh, I
were
remember The Hunt. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I watched it. Yeah. Mhm. It was with the Hillary Swank.
No,
whoa, no, I
No.
wasn't.
no, it was the chick from Glow, the blonde chick from Glow.
Betty
I-
Gilpin.
I must
Yeah,
have been thinking
Betty
about a different movie.
Betty Gilpin, Ike Barinholtz, a couple other names.
Julia Roberts' niece.
Yeah, Emma Roberts.
Oh, sorry, I
She was
was
a
thinking about a different
liberal,
movie.
yeah.
But no, we did have a movie like that came out with Hillary Swank, where they
Yeah, I know what
basically
you're talking about.
banned out fucking the movie from certain areas because it had conservative overtones. Like, oh
Yeah.
my god, bunch of pussies. Well, another thing that tragically happened today to an actor that impacted so many people's lives, honestly. Obviously, one of my favorite movies ever, The Lion King, one of my favorite movies of all time, and he was definitely the iconic voice of Darth Vader. Yeah, sadly, guys, James Earl Jones is dead. Yeah,
This one hurt. This one hurts so bad. I have only shed tears for, well, now 3 celebrities: is Robin Williams, Carrie Fisher, and now James Earl Jones. This one hurt really badly.
And Mark Hamill still alive.
Fuck Mark Hamill. I'll be crying with laughter.
You saw what he tweeted? Rest in peace, Dad, with a broken heart.
You know, I hate that guy at this point, but I get where he's coming from.
It was a good one, but fuck him all the same.
God, man. No, he was Mufasa and Darth Vader. Just mic drop.
He was King.
Terrence Mann from Field of Dreams. That's honestly that's all that was rolling through my mind today, because Star Wars is a non-entity for me.
Admiral Greer.
Yes. Huff Red October.
Jack Ryan series.
Yeah, Huff Red October. He was great.
Yep. I just want to say, you know,
torpedo did detonate. You heard it hit the hull, and
there's very few actors or creators that really hit. I mean, man, the ones that really hit were definitely Paul Walker, because I like the Fast and Furious movies. Akira Toriyama, which just happened this year. That was like holy fuck. Kazuki Takahashi for Yu-Gi-Oh, Jason David Frank for Power Rangers, Kevin Conroy, original voice actor for Batman, and Harley Quinn passed away. This one is like, damn, that sucks. This guy was like, whenever you think of like Darth Vader, you think of just him. That's it. Like, and this also proves that voice actors are also as good as actors that perform, obviously, without just using their voice. You know, he is like one of the most iconic voice actors. And if any voice actor thinks they're less because they don't show themselves on screen acting, you're stupid. You don't get it. It's like, come on.
Unless you're a voiceover actor for anime.
Oh God, then you can fuck yourself. Every single voice actor for anime is an absolute unhinged psychopath.
But no, like, you know, thank you, James Earl Jones, for portraying Mufasa and Darth Vader, man. It was great to have you.
Also, Doom and Conan.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of
Don't forget that he was the bad guy in Conan.
The
whole movie.
Nice.
Well,
his first role was Dr. Strangelove.
The line that the line from A New Hope always does it. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. That is just always going to be.
That's not true. That's not true, because he was the master when they fought on Tatooine and no one ran from him. Sorry, I had to.
I know. And I groaned.
I
groaned because that's not a joke. People are legitimately saying that.
Yeah.
People are like, well, it still counts. It just, again, but only James Earl Jones could have made that speech at the end of Field of Dreams hit so hard. People will come, Ray. The Sandlot, yes. Yeah. Why did you just open the door? I would have gotten it for you. Oh!
When I first saw that movie and I realized that was Darth Vader, I looked at my godfather. I was like, what is happening? See, I'd never seen anything else at the time.
Oh.
Well, no, I'm sorry, Conan, but I was like, this is not right. And he's like, well, he's in different things.
He's an actor. That's what they do.
Yeah.
I did see a clip of him in was it Fences?
Yeah.
That one with that. Yeah, there's a stage production he did with Fences that was really good. And the thing is, you can see it in his performance because every breath that he was taking was not from his lungs, it's from his diaphragm. And that, you know, he's a kind of a bigger dude, but he's like the tough guy, a very barrel chested kind of guy. And every line that he was saying, he was flexing his diaphragm. That's how you know a good actor. That's how you know that's someone that knows what they're doing. And he was fantastic in that. He just exuded manly, masculine power and going and laying into his ungrateful son and asking him, why do you think I do this? Because you like me? I don't like you. It's my responsibility as a man to provide for you because you're my son. And just power and compassion, a little bit of sentimentality, a little bit of warmth there, just for extra color. And it was just a masterful monologue.
You look at his career, James Earl Jones, and the impact he's had on people. He's one of those actors where, like, him gone, you're just like, man, that really does suck, given how much impacts he's had. And goes to show you, just if you, even in Hollywood, put your head in the sand, not on Harvey Weinstein's cock, you can get stuff done despite all the obstacles. Come on, he's worked in Hollywood forever, got stuff done, miracles made. You know, like Akira Toriyama created one of the most iconic pieces of media ever. You know, you never heard this man's politics ever. I don't even know what the fuck that man thinks politics-wise. And you know what? I don't even care. He created Goku and Vegeta. It's all that matters to me, you know?
I'd rather not know an artist's opinion on politics.
I really don't.
I'd rather not hear any kind of artist that's producing something that's supposed to be out there for everyone's enjoyment to state their politics, because it's gotten to the point now where I can't watch certain things anymore because I can no longer separate the artist from the art. And that, in addition to that, it's to put eyeballs on it or to go see a movie that has that actor, you're paying their paycheck and I don't want to give them my money.
Yeah. And just Darth Vader and Mufasa for me will, you know, that's all I need from him. That's all I've really watched and heard him voice through. And he's just, what a legend, man. It's crazy. He's gone. Fucking hell, it sucks.
It's a shame his last 3 credits are Episode 9, Coming to America 2, Kenobi.
You know, after a long career, there's gonna be some
Kenobi. That was a talk box.
That was him. No, that was him. It was him. He came out of retirement for that.
No,
they got him to retirement for the Mufasa,
what
the
is
Lion
it
King remake. Remember?
But he said he was done after that. He was done.
But look what happened. James Earl Jones. And then who was the voice of Batman? That last kind of really known voice acting thing was Suicide Squad kills the Justice League.
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But at least he had a good ending to Batman lined up. And I kind of wonder if, and some of the stuff I don't even know how much people can really know, but I think maybe with Kevin Conroy, he kind of knew because he timed it probably pretty perfectly. Because Freddie Mercury did that. He was recording music for Queen up until literally the day he died.
Yeah.
And just like, give me something to sing. Just do it. Just give me anything. Yeah. Give me anything. Give me everything I can to sing. And I can imagine that Kevin Conroy had that, kind of knew when his time was up, because I think you kind of know at the end.
He took on his cameo.
He knew. He definitely knew.
Yeah, I think so.
I think cameo profile. I think a week before. Honestly, that's the celeb thing where they can give you a shout out for your YouTube video or whatever. Yeah. Damn, not gonna lie, that sounds pretty good to have done back then. Woo.
But I mean, but when you consider why, I mean, that's a great line. That's a great time to have your last line of your most iconic character be, I'm gonna leave this world doing what I've always done, being Batman. Like, that was I hate the circumstances, but I love that line for him, and I love that was his actual last appearance.
You know what else he added into that quote that is just so iconic? It's because people look at Batman as various different ways, given person to person, but where he emphasizes that he does care, because, you know, Bruce's personality is that he can come out that he doesn't care, even though he's already like a depressed person in general. So the fact that he admitted that he does care and he really does love protecting Gotham. And he just said he just was gonna go out being Batman, punching Joker in the face, man, just Chad
And
stuff.
I kind of wish you could see that in real life, to see Batman Conroy punching
Batman's
Joker
a fascist.
Hamill in the face.
That made me actually not watch that movie in theaters. George Lopez said that, and it probably was a joke in the movie. I was like, no,
I don't care.
I don't care. The character felt that way, but the whole family's like, come on, like that was one of the few things they were
that's
like.
One of those parts in the trailer that you
why
just
put it
don't
in the
tune
trailer?
in. Why was it in the trailer? It was actually not a bad trailer at all. When I watched it, it was fine.
Generic as fuck, but it wasn't insulting until he did that. And I'm like, fuck you. Because also I kind of hate George Lopez now. I think he's incredibly overrated. You can stop. He had one good joke. We are Mexicans, not Mexicans.
When his wife gave him her kidney and he cheated on her after that, I was done with him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Back when he was doing the
George Lopez. For me,
Will my
George
celebrity
Lopez is
crush
comedian that's trying to convince everyone that he's funny.
Yeah, he's one of those Mexicans that tries so hard to be funny that he just says like maybe burrito and people will laugh. They're just like, bro, you're not funny.
Wasn't not. I may be mixing up my Iglesias, but isn't Gabriel Iglesias the fluffy guy?
Yeah.
I howl laughing every time I see a special of his. That guy is legitimately funny. George Lopez cannot write a joke couldn't write a joke in a paper bag.
He was accused of stealing a lot of his jokes.
Same with Mencia.
That's the worst thing you can do as a comedian.
I mean, to the whole point, even South Park went after Mencia for
really
on the fish sticks episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
They should just give every role to Luis Guzman and just get out of the way.
Hey, it's me, Luis Guzman.
I will never think of Luis Guzman
of
Community. Yes.
Yeah.
I love my time here. I got laid like crazy. That's what they keep in the commercial. I love that. I love that entire episode. Oh man, the dean turns into Colonel Kurtz. It's like, I'm horrible. I love that episode.
And then Abed at the end go, oh yeah, I knew this was going to happen. You couldn't have warned us.
He makes his own commercial with everything that they compile. I love it.
Oh, forgot for the other black guy. I forgot his name. The one who did the iconic arm pose with Arnold
Carl
Schwarzenegger
Weathers.
Treasure. Yeah, Carl Weathers died this year too. That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Poor Chubb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chubbs.
Damn. Losing all the blacks, which is these are like good blacks, not the hood disgusting ones. You know, those ones you can get rid of.
Unfortunately, just like in Happy Gilmore, the croc finally got him.
Do you think when he was dying on his deathbed, he was like, these motherfuckers can start making these fucking alligator memes now? Do you think he was thinking that?
Oh,
Probably
gosh.
not. But you kind of want to look at it from the aspect going, what is my legacy? It's going to be my wooden fucking hand.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to say, like, he came to, I didn't go, but I had friends who went to see him at his appearance at cons, and he talked a lot about Happy Gilmore. And most people wanted him to do a Happy Gilmore line, or like they bring like a hand to him to do the Happy Gilmore. That's say most people. A lot of people I know that, and they were like, man, people in line, they were like asking him to sign everything as Chubbs and stuff. And I was like, man, do you think maybe he was like, these fucking assholes are gonna my legacy?
You want to know what? I bet anything I think he might have. I can't say for sure, but it just because a stupid little Adam Sandler movie got such recognition for him, for that character who is barely in the movie.
Yeah.
And has become such a notable.
Yeah. I liked him as Grief Karga, man. He was a really good character on that show.
Season 3 excluded, but yes.
He was a good character on the show.
Yeah. I liked his character, yeah.
I didn't say the show was good.
I will say one thing, because I used to watch, I used to listen to the Resistance broadcast before they started sweeping for The Last Jedi. I'm like, fuck this. But they had a really funny comment about, they're just talking because The Mandalorian had just started, and so they're talking about all the characters. And one of them had made one of the hosts had made mention of, I think Carl Weathers' performance is a little bit over the top and a little less believable. And the lady on there is like, "What do you mean?" Trying to mimic his affect. And actually, I was driving. I doubled over laughing. It caught me off guard. It was really good.
He was Apollo Creed. Apollo didn't die. He just went into space.
Yeah, I'm okay with that canon.
Well,
Quick, baby, do the magic hand thing.
Is that really a thing, though? White dudes for Kamala? There's no way that's a real thing.
No, it's astroturfed as hell. No one believes that.
Is. It's real.
Well, beta males for.
Could you do? We need a black dudes for Trump. We need to.
They have one. They have one.
They have them.
They have one. Yeah, they have one.
You're right. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, they have one.
True.
They got to come out more full force for everyone for Kamala.
I just can't believe that there would be a group of men that would be like white dudes for Kamala. What's that supposed to even be?
It means my wife's boyfriend once beat me.
Do you think the Star Wars Explained guy, the husband, watches Molly get fucked by 6 black guys and pleasures himself while he watches?
Probably.
It sounds like a guy to do that. Hey, yo, you can have my wife just as long as I can watch.
As long as I can watch more Disney Star Wars and not be disturbed. I'm just imagining.
Stand in the corner wearing my Princess Leia outfit.
Oh. How in the world that makes Destiny look like an Adonis just sitting there in front of his microphone while some guy dances with his wife behind his back.
Oh,
he's just watching it all happen on the street, like, you pathetic motherfucker. They're all just so unmanly. They're all just so ridiculous. They're the most effete little soy boys you could ever meet, and I hate this idea of talk, because really, and it's something I've noticed ever since 2018, really ever since Last Jedi. Toxic positivity has been a thing way more than toxic negativity has been a thing, because everybody can have their own opinion on something. That's perfectly fine. You can say you don't like something. For instance, I loved The Force Awakens whenever I first saw it. Absolutely loved it. The more I watch it, the more I realize, it's not great.
Over again.
It is New Hope over again, and the more now, because I defended it like crazy, because like, we don't know how it's going to end, we don't know how all these storylines are going to play out, and then they play it out, and then I have a reason to hate that movie now. I haven't watched it in years, and I'll probably never watch Rise of Skywalker for that reason, because it's garbage. But you can have criticisms of something, but when other people are saying, no, it's actually good, you're wrong, you're just being a meanie fathead. Well, like, actually, Star Wars is great. We need to stand behind Star Wars. It says Star Wars. You're not a fan if all you're doing is shilling for the brand. That's not a fan of something, especially when something like Star Wars, which has stood the test of time more than probably any other franchise ever has, and it took Disney tanking it in like a year or two. It took The Last Jedi to tank it completely. Not even Solo could recover from that. Not even Rise of Skywalker could recover from it. It's the most iconic IP in all of cinema history, and they killed it because nobody watched it, and its fans made it worse because the fans are like, no, we must get behind the brand. Like, no, you're betraying the brand if the brand is betraying you. If the IP is betraying everything that it was before, that's not something to be a fan of, and they don't make the distinction.
And there's something else that people don't think about. When art school got me into the backstage portion of shit, we wouldn't have ILM if it wasn't for Lucas, if it wasn't for Star Wars.
We wouldn't have Pixar either.
We wouldn't have Pixar. DreamWorks would probably have never come around as well. Movie effects, digital effects would probably be effects in general would probably be years behind where we are now because of Star Wars.
If you looked at all the practical effects they did on just look at the first episode, Phantom Menace. I don't like the movie that much, but the practical effects they even used to create that Coliseum with the pod racing, so beautiful.
Painted Q-tips.
Yeah, amazing, gorgeous.
Another advancement that came. Everyone in the 90s remembers it on their VHS, THX.
Yep.
Yeah. That's also because of Lucasfilm.
Mm-hmm. I guarantee you Lucasfilm, because also Peter Jackson was much the same thing. He developed the in-camera digital filming technique. That was all him. So he had, and you can see it on the DVD commentaries that they had, where we have the idea of the volume and digital stuff and having the camera move around. That was all Peter Jackson. He pioneered that. Yep. So the camera work that takes place in Moria is incredible when it's going around the cave troll and everyone's dodging and trying to avoid it being crushed by it. Especially that scene with Gimli, like dodging all of its blows. That was done by hand. They had that scene. They had that scene digitized in the actual digital space, but then Peter Jackson went and moved around his camera to see what would work best. He did that. Lucas did the same thing. He pioneered THX surround sound, the Pixar computer. He developed it. We would not have had any of the incredible leaps and bounds of special effects had it not been for Star Wars. And I guarantee it, Lucas was making those movies just as much to show off the technology as he was to show off his story, because he's a creator. Especially in Phantom Menace, and especially not Phantom Menace, but in the prequels, those were mainly digital because that was new technology at the time. We criticize the green screen now, and maybe some of the performances where the actors were pretty jilted, but that was the last thing on his mind. He didn't give a fuck. He hates actors. He's known for hating actors, but he loved the technology. He loved the idea of filmmaking, that it could create these incredible atmospheres and these incredible worlds and effects that would just blow us away. And it blew me away back in the early 2000s. Really still does how well they kind of hold up. But I think his reach kind of exceeded his grasp there because the technology wasn't there to make it believable. It looked like a cartoon. I think if he had James Cameron's eye for realism for the prequels, they would have turned out way better.
Never mind. I was about to say give it a few more years and we'll have the special edition version of the prequels, but I forgot Lucas is not controlling more of it.
But then Disney hates money.
Yeah.
Really give us the theatrical releases of the original trilogy, and Fox. Well, can't do Fox. Disney would print money tomorrow. They would save their
one thing.
They would save their parks.
That was the one thing that always baffled me when Hollywood was not in producing really anything. I am shocked, not to try to throw a bone to theaters, of re-releasing popular movies back in the theaters during that time frame. You could have sold tickets, got additional revenue for re-showing these old films that people love in theaters, so theaters could make money as well with concessions and ticket sales by showing the original. Well, they do it already, but doing more showings of Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, the old Star Treks.
They're doing that for the Matrix.
The Terminator series. Going back, bringing Terminator back into the original Terminators back into the theater. There could have been so many things that they could have done of bringing old movies that a lot of people have never seen big screen.
Yeah, I saw Alien for the first time on the big screen. I'd never seen it before, and I'd stayed away from it because I just wasn't my thing. And then I saw it was released in the Alamo Drafthouse, like for the 45th, whatever, the anniversary. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to watch this on the big screen for the first time. I was blown away. The movie's 45 years old. How is it still? How was I still on the edge of my seat? And I knew all the bits. I knew not get away from her, you bitch. That came later. I knew all of the jump scares. I knew because I'd seen clips. I'm on the internet, but it was still good. It was still fantastic. And my theater was full.
Yeah,
keep doing that, but they won't.
No, because again, for some reason, they're allergic to making money in Hollywood.
Yeah. And, the other thing I want to bring up with Star Wars was that in the video that is going to come up that I already did, the first thing that came up was that Disney might actually do what Marvel's going to do. Remember that the articles came out where Marvel is going to cut back on the amount of content they're going to actually push out, which I think is a very good thing anyway. Star Wars might start doing that too. You might only get one Star Wars show a year actually at this point, and then
for the most part they have, because they have not had a theatrical release since the rise of Palpatine.
Yeah, then you're gonna have the Rey solo movie in 2026.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
That's not happening.
Oh, not after this. They haven't even announced that they're even filming anything. They haven't announced nothing. All they announced was that you had that Charmine fat bitch directed, and that's it. That was the last thing we heard about it. We know there's gonna be a Rey solo movie after Rise of Skywalker, and Charmine, fat something, a boy, is directing it, and that's it. No filming announcement, no casting, nothing. When the Mandalorian Grogu movie, we have that, and then whatever show they're gonna put out next, which is like I think it's Bad Batch season 2.
I think we're on 3 or 4 now.
Yeah, and then whatever.
No, they're on 4. We'd be on 4.
Have they been working on any other Star Wars stuff? There was another show. Didn't they do like Tales of the Jedi already?
Skeleton Crew, something
like that. Like, I don't know. What have they produced? Because they haven't been filming anything. They haven't really been working on anything. So what is Star Wars gonna really have?
Skeleton Crew. That's it.
With Andor season 2, you have that.
Sure, but I don't have high hopes for that. Andor season 1 was great because the usual suspects had absolutely no say in it. Well, they didn't have a say in it. The usual, like, Kathleen Kennedy had very little involvement in that. It's clear as day, because she would not have allowed Tony Gilroy to write such a good show if she were involved in it. I don't, because it was a huge success with critics and audiences. Audiences loved it. Not very many people watched it. Still more people watched it than The Acolyte. But I don't think Kathleen Kennedy will have the self-awareness to let them do their thing again. I think that she'll still try to stick her grubby paws where they don't belong, and the message will come through loud and clear. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't have high hopes for it.
I've gotten to Disney soon. Just don't worry.
I've gotten to the point which is the worst part of being a fan is I've gotten to the point of apathy. I just don't fucking care anymore. Yeah. I don't care what they put out. I have no interest anymore. I just don't care.
Yeah,
that's where they've gotten me to. It's the same with Star Trek. I'm to the point of apathy. I could give a fuck if Picard season 3 was incredible. I haven't seen it. I don't care to see it because it's still Secret Hideout. It is still part of Jar Jar Abrams' company and destruction of Star Trek. I don't care.
Yeah, that's how sad it. Even when they do it right, you can't. Doesn't matter.
You're fine.
Too late.
Just want to put out, I gotta head out in a little bit here. I got some stuff to do. There's a lot of videos I gotta do. Just record. There's so much news coming out. Oh my god, there's so much stuff to do. I'm gonna try and get most of it done. I'm gonna work on getting all these videos done. Where basically I'm gonna do like at least 2 of them a day, or 3 a night, just to get them done. Not 10 minutes long. Just shoot the shit and go. Because there's too much stuff going on. And the Dr. Disrespect stuff, guys. I mean, oh my god, fucking hell, dude. I'll just say this right now. He said that he put out that thing, that big long Gonzo manifesto that we read a while ago when we were doing the videos, remember? Mm-hmm. He said that was a ploy to trick the media. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's just say hypothetically that's true, which we probably know is bullshit. If you didn't want people believing you were a certain type of person, a map, okay, why didn't you just do the video then? Because, yeah, technically, he didn't touch a kid. That wouldn't make you that. That would just make you a fucking weirdo for doing that, which is worse enough. Why not just do the video then? Why write that? And then not only write it, edit it like 6 times, then basically confirm that he was in the wrong. Why not do the video? But I digress. If people think he's not in the wrong, go ahead. But I think he's.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, let's start with outros. I do have to get out of here and get some content done tonight. You boys can be putting out some consistent content moving forward. So with Darnell, what you got planned coming up, man?
Well, provided we don't lose power tomorrow when the Hurricane Francine hits, I'll be here. And at the end of the pitch tomorrow night, it'll turn from the pitch into trivia for Mr. Burger. So I'll be hosting that tomorrow night. And then again, if I'm able to, I'll maybe top G's and then Friday banger.
All right. Emerald, what you got planned coming up besides being white?
I'm going to be going into hibernation. And
cool.
then I will wake up for Friday banger.
You want to do a bang? You're going to bang her? Awesome. Fuck yeah.
Strider?
What else is here? Strider, anything you got planned coming up?
The fuck do you mean? Who else is here? So you can find me on the weekly Rogues Gallery. You can also find me on Full Metal Nate. We're doing the Curse of Strahd, and Nate's got some family stuff going on. You know, God bless him. And so we're gonna be taking a break for a few weeks, but I think presumptively, the 28th, he said.
Yeah.
I think maybe the 28th at the end of this month might be our resumption. We ended on a hell of a cliffhanger last time, and the guy's killing it. The guy is absolutely killing it. He's worked really damn hard, and we got a really good group going. And I think we're really getting into our characters more. And this past stream, though shorter and a little bit lighter on action, is full of really good character stuff. And I'm not tooting my own horn. My character's moment came at the end, which was a shit ton of fun, by the way. I love role playing. So good. But everybody else was just nailing it. We were on fire, and we were gonna literally.
I pissed them off when you started to have your moment. I kicked my camera off. I laid back. I turned the sound off. I didn't want to hear anything was being said to you.
Oh.
So when I kicked my camera back on, I know nothing he told you. I want to try something out instead of metagaming. I want to see what would happen.
You were okay. If you were as familiar, I'm not going to tell you anything. If you were as familiar with D&D as I think you are, you were going to freak the fuck out. Nobody spoil it. Nobody in the chat spoil it or anything. You were going to freak out because I did. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, it was a fun time. And I'm not tooting my own horn. Nate just really knows how to make something as cinematic as hell. But yeah, you can find me on there. And then I'm not going to be on Roast Gallery this Friday. I'm going to be too busy moving. That's going to be fun. But Mondays you can find me here. And then I may do some videos here and there, but just depends on how I feel.
Yeah, we're going to do our Gooding open spoiler this Sunday, actually.
Oh, I don't know. I might.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, and also Sunday, depending on how late. So I know Iron. Me and Iron we're trying to see if we want to talk about Rings of Power this Sunday, but I don't know if that's going to happen if I can do it.
Well, given current circumstances, that might have to be pushed back to 2 years. I'm just kidding.
I mean, for God's sake, this show is that bad. I haven't even made it through episode 4 yet, so who knows? I wanted to make sure that we had something scheduled before I even wasted my time.
Okay. As you guys know, for me, Cloud9 podcast episodes are getting uploaded to Rumble, currently on season 4. New episodes of the Iron Man and Cloud9 podcast are getting uploaded to the podcast platforms. That way, if you can't catch the show live, you can listen to either podcast on your favorite podcasting platform of your choice. They're both under the same profile. I didn't want to just go to the habit of creating another profile for another RSS feed and all that stuff. All of it's under one profile. And if you really want to binge more content, you can go and listen to the Nightwing podcast, which was my other podcast that I had before this one became my longstanding nerd guy chill one, actually. New videos are going to come out more consistently. With accountability, I'm going to need one of you guys to be like, hey man, did you get your videos done? Give me did you get your couple videos done? I want you guys to DM and be like, 2 videos, news, get them done. Because I need that kick in my balls to get them done. I do get most of it done. I do.
You want to know what? To be fair, we tried that with your TV.
God. Okay. Oh God, what a way to end off the night. But no, if you guys see news out there that I can talk about and I want an opinion on, like when Darnell sent me the stuff about Joker 2, I will do a video on that. I will. It just depends on the time of when it could happen. But I do want to make it happen. Either we do it on stream or I do it by myself. And as you guys know from my comic book YouTube channel, I put a new episode of Comic Book Haul. And then before you see any more new videos from the channel update video first, and then I give you guys the rest of the content. And then after that, more consistent content. So yes, consistent content coming out. When news drops on any movie or TV show or content creator I know or any of that stuff, I'm going to make that video. It's going to be done. I'm going to be back on top like I used to be. I'm going to be a top G. But yeah, hopefully you guys had a great weekend. And as I always say, instead of the Miami Dolphins player incident, which we're going to talk about tomorrow. Oh man. Oh, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the NFL Iron Man podcast.
I hope I'm able to show up for that.
I think it's 6:30 PST. We're going to do it. I gotta talk to James and Chaz and see if they're going to be on time with that as well, because I obviously can't do it by myself. But
yeah,
just so you guys know,
I'll be there, man.
We're gonna try and make sure that happens. So I'm gonna basically grind the games as much as I can, and then we're gonna make that happen for you guys. If not on Tuesday, then maybe Thursday. That also happens too. But I gotta make some magic happen. And just so you guys know, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the Iron Man podcast. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Make sure, as always, be safe, be awesome, be productive, and go out there and do amazing things. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.